Should be good. Should be good.
No, it's gonna be great.
I know. I'm pumped. Welcome back, guys. Randy,
Yo,
what's up?
what up? What up?
Little exciting little Thursday night matchup we got here. Not really.
I think it's Sean Payton's excited.
Sean Payton's pumped. Let's break down the Thursday night game real quick. Broncos Saints in New Orleans. Little Sean Payton revenge game. What are you thinking?
Who would be able to turn the game for the Saints? I mean, you're just looking at the matchup that you got going on with all the injuries that the Saints do have. O-line, skill position players, even a little bit on defense, they're banged up. Kamara's banged up. It's going to be a huge Kamara game for the Saints on offense to even try to, hang around. They're probably hoping to keep it low scoring, keep it within range for them. Time of possession, they're going to try to field position the Broncos, but that's also what the Broncos do well. Broncos have shown an ability to be able to blow some teams out now, so it's I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up turning that way, and I think Sean Payton's going to put one on them, especially going to New Orleans.
Yeah, the only, saving grace for the Saints is that Pat Surtain's out. So that's, the only thing for the Saints where they might have, Bub Means might get a little bit more breathing room than normal because, Pat Surtain's out. That's really the only guy the Broncos have that's notably out. They have a few guys that are questionable in their secondary.
Yeah.
But it's not it's nothing catastrophic that they're dealing with. They're not dealing with the Broncos are kind of shit. So I'm trying to Zach
it's just
Allen.
you're talking about on their defense.
Yeah, Zach Allen.
It's
maybe.
all about their front seven. Their front seven. They make teams one-dimensional, and then they make. The Chargers had a little bit of success running the ball against them. Chargers have one of the top 6 of offensive lines in the league, so not surprised to see that. They're built to run the ball and win that type of game. So that was kind of a just matchup. Didn't really favor the Broncos, but in a game where the Saints have all the injuries on the offensive line they do and a rookie left tackle, this is a game where the Broncos are going to make them one-dimensional. Last week with the Saints, they didn't I don't know how many times I saw them just straight up drop back and pass. A lot of the times with Spencer playing, they were moving the pocket. He was ad-libbing. He wasn't sitting back, one read, getting the ball out, going through reads, getting the ball out. It was a lot of movement with the pocket and getting him moving to where he could actually use his arm talent and make plays. So if the Broncos are able to collapse the pocket, get pressure on him, hit him a little bit, he doesn't have a lot to help him.
Yeah. You want one of these, by the way?
Nah, man, I'm all good, bro. Yeah, what is it?
Little 5 cal. Those sparkling
sponsorship?
ices? Dude, sparkling ice, if you're listening from Costco, please sponsor us. But no, these are fire, though. They're 5 cal. They're not, no sugar.
It's like a little soda kind of alternative or what?
Yeah, it's just I don't know. If I'm not feeling water for the day or whatever, or I just need something to switch it up, got to get one of those.
Orange is a good flavor, too, as well.
Orange mango. Dude, mango
fire.
Flavoring is so fire. Anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm dead with you.
It's not fire as the Saints' offensive line.
Yeah, I think every one of their offensive linemen, except for their rookie left tackle, are on second stringers. And
at least their interior, for sure, is decimated.
The right tackle's out, too. So right tackle's out
as well. Yeah.
So second string, third string center, second string left guard,
dude.
And then rookie left tackle.
That's so rough, man.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a 16-10 game. That's my prediction.
I think it could end up being something around a 27-7 game.
Really? Okay.
I think it could be around 27-7, 27-6. You could be seeing the Broncos just moving the ball, playing their game. I think the Saints defense has a little bit of fight left in them still being early on in the season, but just in terms of the amount of injuries, and I don't see a way that these Saints are going to be able to sustain drives, keep this Broncos offense off the field. And if you're leaving them on the field all game with the defense, it's kind of worn out. They had a really strong start to the season, but man, it's just this thing's spiraling so fast ever since that Chiefs game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yep.
I think it's safe to assume that you're going Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going Broncos.
All right, yeah, me too.
I think they're going to cover their spread. I think this is the potential blowout. This is my lock of the week.
Really?
Yeah, it's my lock of the week, Broncos.
I did the lock of the week Broncos last week, and it fucking shafting me. So
Your
I'm-
locks are not so locky, bro.
I'm gonna do a different lock of the week. We'll get there in a few picks. But
Yeah.
next game, barn burner in London, Patriots Jags. Really exciting matchup. I'm pumped.
I'm kind of excited.
I'm fucking not.
I want to see Drake May go against a shitty defense.
Yeah, I mean that's the only really thing to watch here is Drake
Yeah.
May, see how he dices him up, which I think he will.
I think he will too.
Okay, we're on the same page. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, what do you have anything you want to say about
I
it?
was gonna let you take the floor, but yeah, I think this Jags team. My prediction is that they're gonna lose, probably a close one. I think.
You think Jags are gonna lose?
Yeah, Jags.
So
Yeah,
pick the Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots gonna win. So I'm gonna pick the Patriots to win. A close one, probably like 23-20. I would say is probably like maybe like a game-winning field goal or game-ending pick or something like that. And Peterson gets fired after the game. We've been calling for it. You've been calling for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what's gonna happen. You can't. The only thing for the Jags that they have to their advantage is that they've been in London for the past week training. But New England is not that far of a flight, really. It's not like if the Niners were coming to town, they'd have to drive. Shit, that'd be a long drive. Fly across the country. Yeah, fly across the country and then fly across the Atlantic Ocean to get to London,
Yeah.
right? New England, hop on a flight from Boston, Logan Airport, land in
over.
London, and that's really it. So
Yeah, I saw this one meme. It was funny, made me laugh. It was like whoever, because after the Bears play the Jags in London, it was like you got to win your way out of London, basically. And if they keep losing, they're gonna have to stay there. I mean, there's been talks about them like moving to London, bro. But I mean, hey, they lost and they got to stay there. And I mean, they might as well stay there. I mean, I don't really see anything that they do well. They don't do anything well. You know, they have the edge talent. They have Tank Bigsby, and they don't give him the ball. Dearness Johnson, why is he getting more touches than Tank Bigsby with ETN being hurt? This pass D, man, dude, it is against this Patriots offense that has been one of the worst pass blocking O-lines in the league. They're probably going to have some plays where they're able to hold up and take advantage of this pass defense and make some plays. And they got a guy, Demario Davis.
Mhm.
Demario Davis is the linebacker for the Saints.
Demario Douglas is the
Demario
receiver,
Douglas. Yeah, I like Demario Douglas a lot. I think he's going to make some plays this game. Keyshawn Bootsy, whatever as well, from LSU. He was low round or undrafted guy from last year, bro. I don't want to say his name, bro. It sounds hella zesty. But, yeah, he looked pretty good last week. Had a big play.
So you made me say it? Fuck you.
Yeah, bro. Keyshawn Booty.
Keyshawn
Yeah, bro.
Booty.
I think they're about to lead Doug Peterson in London, though. I just don't think that they do anything well. Soft team overall. Just missing details, lack of discipline. It's just they're just spiraling as well. And, I mean, they've lost 10 out of their last 11 games, I think, at this point. If not, it's about to be 10 out of the last 11 and they lose this one. So it's just all downhill for them. But this game, the winner, it's gonna come down to who makes less mistakes. That turnover margin is gonna be huge. Pats do have some playmakers on the defensive secondary. I do like some of their guys back there, but yeah, I just think that the negative momentum on the Jaguars is gonna be too much for them.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on like Marcus Jones this game to maybe make a play that decides or sparks this team a little bit for the Patriots. I like Marcus Jones a lot.
I do too.
Punt return game,
Yeah.
or if they put him on offense, or if he gets his hands in the ball on defense, he's a playmaker.
Yeah, he's sick right now. I looked at the injury report and he said
He'll play, right?
he was limited on Wednesday with
he'll
his
play.
sickness. So I was like,
You know, I was so into the injury reports in previous weeks, and I felt like it kind of bit me a little bit because I was kind of reading too much into it. So I'm just gonna kind of go with general like team, and we're doing this on Thursday mornings, you know. So injury reports do play a factor, but I do think that there's just some things that we can't even tell until game time, you know.
Yep.
So going with just off of that, I'm taking Patriots as well.
okay, yeah, I'm on the same page. Yeah, not really much to say about that game.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Drake May. I think he's gonna throw a couple touchdowns, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, dude, he looked the part last week. I mean, that Texans defense
Aggressive.
is not bad. So we'll see what they can put together against the London Jaguars. But
The way they come out and attack is really
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah,
The London Jaguars. Oh yeah.
that one snuck under the radar for a sec. Lions Vikings next game up. Probably game of the week.
Is it game of the week?
It's not game of the week, but
It's,
it's in my
I
eyes.
think
it
it's
is.
one. I think it's one of the games of the week. Let me look at the. Oh well, I think there's two other ones that really. Oh, there's three other ones that really excite me because I like this one: Chiefs Niners,
Yeah.
Ravens Bucks, and Texans Packers. There's 4 games this week that are massive games. This is definitely one of them though. Man, that Lions pass defense without Hutchinson though versus this Vikings offense. Did you see anything about Hawkinson coming back this week? Is he back?
I'll check for you right now.
Yeah, check it out really quick. I think Hawkinson's gonna be back this week. If not, he's in one of the next weeks.
Just think, this time next week, you'll be able to just watch me type on my computer Lions injury report on the TV behind us.
It's gonna be sick, bro. And I'll be able to actually look at it, bro, instead of blind slinging misinformation.
Yeah, I'm really. It's hard to put into words, especially over only audio. What the setup is gonna look like, and I don't want to overhype it, but it's gonna be fucking
lit.
sick. So I'm pumped for it. But yeah, Lions, Carlton Davis didn't practice. Ragnow didn't practice. Dan Skipper
What's
didn't
his injury?
practice. Quad for Carlton Davis.
Quad.
Ragnow and Kevin Zeitler are just rest days.
Yeah.
Brian Branch is limited with a knee issue. Dan Skipper has a rib issue, didn't practice.
I'm really worried about this Lions pass D against this Vikings offense. And the way that if the Vikings are able to run the ball as well with the way this defense is so aggressive, I think the Lions should be able to have a little bit more success. TJ's limited this week. I think he'll be back. I think in a game like this, coming off a bye week against a divisional opponent, he'll be back this week. I do think that I think the Lions should be able to run the ball, specifically with Montgomery, a little bit in a game like this, because they do have such a strong offensive line they've invested in to where they kind of grind people down. I think that this is a game that they want to keep closer. They want to win time of possession. They want to be able to run the ball. They want to be able to protect the football. If they can do all those, they can win the game. But I just think with this Vikings offense against this Lions pass D, it's going to be really tough for them.
Yeah, Vikings signed Cam Akers back to their team this week because Aaron Jones didn't practice on Wednesday with the hammy.
I like Ty Chandler, though.
So, yeah, maybe they know that Aaron Jones, if he does play, is going to be limited. So they were just looking for depth.
They like Cam Akers, too.
Yeah.
He played well for him.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. But, man, I think if anyone was going to figure out Brian Flores' defense, it would be the guys that sent their left tackle out to go run routes last week.
I just think true as well.
Ben Johnson just is going to have the ultimate game plan because most likely, and I know you're a Bears fan or whatever, but there's a really 3-team race this year between, in terms of overall talent. I think the Bears can probably fight and win in some of those games, but I don't really consider them as NFC North contenders really to win the division. So games like this, you really have to throw the kitchen sink at to win the game because the Lions, if they win this game, they're first in the division. So
these divisional games are very important.
So
for every single team in the division,
so
they all have good records.
Exactly, they're all 4-2 and above.
All 4-2, 5-1, 5-0.
So Vikings are coming off a bye, which is maybe gave them a little bit more time to prep. But I'm going to pick the Lions in this game because I think Vikings can't stay undefeated forever. And if whatever reason, I know Aiden Hutchinson going down hurts really bad, but I don't know. I just think Sam Darnold has played too good, and I know we talk about the PFF podcast a lot, but regressing to the mean.
They always talk about him turning into a pumpkin. That shit always makes me laugh, bro. They're like, so when is Sam Darnold going to turn back into a pumpkin? I'm like, bro, stop, dude.
What does that even mean?
It's like some Cinderella metaphor or something like that, bro. Like we're turning into a pumpkin or whatever. It just always cracks me up, bro. That's what they talk about him though. They say, when is he going to turn into a pumpkin? But the Irish dude Sam, he always says it, bro, and he has that funny ass accent with it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't know what he meant, but now I know what he meant. When's the freaking little whatchamacallit, the illusion or the mirage in the desert going to
Yes.
go back to
Yes.
just being dirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think this is the game. There's not really. I know playing in Minnesota is tough. I just think the Lions are going to do. They're going to pull something out of the bag where they're like, hey, this is what we're pulling out all the stops to beat these guys, and I'll let you talk about it. But I know you were probably thinking about the over is probably money in that game.
I do have shootout with the question mark. I'm curious if how the Lions decide to attack this game. Do they decide to try to attack this defense and really try to put up points with this Vikings team? Or do they try to time of possession, clock control, protect the ball, ground game this one out and see if they can win a close game? In my opinion, that's probably the better formula. I don't really think that you want to try to get into a shootout in a game against this defense with the weaknesses you have in the past game. I mean, like Hutchinson was their pressure guy, getting after the QB, and it's like when you lose that, it's really concerning for me in terms of the rest of the D line or front seven being able to get after the QB when they play so much man coverage versus these receivers with Hawkinson coming back. And I know Sam Darnold's had moments where I thought that he's been putting the ball in harm's way. He's had a little bit of inaccuracy. I do think there is a potential for the Vikings to lose this game, but I do think being at home is an advantage for them in a game like this. And maybe in Detroit they'll be able to get them, but I'm going to go with the Vikings this game. I think that also, too, throughout the season, we've kind of seen a lot of away teams win games. I don't know the exact ratio of wins to losses for home and away teams, but I'm pretty sure away teams have been more successful this season versus home teams. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of home teams are going to come out with wins this week.
So you're going against what has been going on with the away teams?
Yeah, I think that as the season goes on, it's going to even out. It's probably going to even out pretty 50-50, but there's been more away wins this season than home wins. And I have a lot of home wins this week coming into my picks.
Gotcha. All right, I get it. I just think it's just one of those feelings, you know what I mean? For me, I think honestly, I'm not going to spoil my other pick, but I don't think there'll be any undefeated teams after this week. That's my prediction. So
that's a good prediction. I like it.
I can't justify.
Who's the other undefeated team?
Chiefs.
Word.
So.
Word. I like that one.
Yeah. Next game though is Titans-Bills. This is my lock of the week. I'll start off. Everything the Bills have is better than the Titans. The Titans are banged up too. Will Levis. He's going to turn the ball over probably 2 or 3 times with probably 2 picks and a fumble. He might take out another ball boy.
Yeah.
Ball boys, watch your ACLs in this game. And yeah, they added Amari Cooper, which is just I made a video about this. The Bills are my favorite to win the AFC. I think that's a pretty bold thing to say with how good the Ravens are playing, how good the Chiefs are playing. Texans are playing. I just think that this Bills team, especially if they can clinch a home game against one of these other teams like the Texans or whatever, to come through Buffalo is a tough thing to do. And I think Josh Allen has the perfect group of weapons around him without all that Diggs drama from last year. And Amari Cooper is a guy that just goes about his business. He doesn't talk to the media, doesn't complain about anything. He just goes out there and balls, right? Now, I was thinking when they signed him, they can pretty much put Amari Cooper wherever they want. But I was like, I saw something, and a guy on my video commented on it. He's like, why don't they move Keon Coleman to a big slot and put Amari on the outside as the X, and have Khalil Shakir just run little third down conversion routes, whatever, as a possession guy.
Be like their Wan'Dale Robinson.
Exactly, and have Kincaid be a versatile tight end and take the pressure off him to be the really go-to guy, you know?
Yep.
With James Cook and Ray Davis, who's stopping that? And then you have the MVP at quarterback.
I think he's probably on an MVP track right now.
All that to say, I don't think the Titans have a shot in hell to win this game. So this is my lock of the week. What do you think?
It's not a bad lock, I would say. I do think like we're on Will Levis benching watch. Uh, I think the only way that the Titans can really keep it close in this game is if we have a random bad Josh Allen game. You know, like it would take like a disastrous game from Josh Allen to really make this game close. I do think that adding Amari Cooper does slide guys into better roles potentially. You know, we have to see it before because it is a bit of a projection right now with Keon Coleman. I do think that there's opportunity to do that now with a guy like Amari Cooper in the offense. I do think Khalil Shakir fits a really nice role for them as that Wan'Dale Robinson short yardage, third down conversion monster. So there's a lot of good roles in this offense with adding a guy like Amari Cooper. The Titans, you're just hoping that they can keep it close and maybe have a shot at it at the end. I think I saw the spread was like 9.5 points. It's probably right. I think that the Titans are just going to have to play a really clean game and hope that Josh Allen has a random, uncharacteristic game based on this season and the way it's trending for him. You're looking at how the trend is going for this season. You're taking Bills as a lock this week, and that makes sense. I'm with you too on the Bills. I'm taking them as well. Not gonna go crazy, but yeah, I think that there is a possibility for a Titans team to upset the Bills because I mean they do have game records on the inside, and if you can make the Bills one-dimensional, and you can make Josh Allen force him into a random uncharacteristic game of the season, you can make it close and potentially try to steal one. But I do think that I'm not expecting that.
So you're taking Bills.
Take Bills.
All right.
I'm not expecting it, but I do think there is a formula in there for the Titans to keep it close.
I don't hate that take. I don't hate it, but I also don't agree with it.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Texans-Packers. Another great game, as you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
I think this game's going to come down to the Packers' red zone defense. They're going to need to be able to force the Texans to kick field goals to keep them out of the end zone. Texans have been doing a really good job of putting the ball in the end zone, scoring a lot, running the ball with Mixon. It's just I think there's going to be a need for a guy like John Mechie to step up and make some plays this game for the Texans. But I do think that I'm going to pick them to win this game. I think that their defense, the way they're so aggressive, the way they hit, force fumbles, take the ball away. I'm expecting them to be able to win the turnover margin this game. And I'm just thinking that this is a game that it's in Green Bay. I don't know what the weather is for this game, so I haven't looked into
74 degrees. I looked it up while you're talking.
I don't think it's going to be any kind of implication of weather. So, I mean, that's not really like any kind of factor in this game. And if there's no factor and you're just playing the game straight up, I love this Texans defense and how aggressive they are, the way they hit people, the way they take the ball away, and they kind of impose themselves like the Vikings do. I just think this Packers red zone defense is going to make or break this game for them, though.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Packers because I think with the Texans, who they have banged up, let me read you their injury report real quick. Azeez Al-Shaair didn't practice with a knee injury. Fatuoski didn't practice. They're a D-tackle. Lassiter didn't practice. Henry Tuoto, the linebacker, the young kid, didn't practice.
So both their linebackers and corner didn't practice.
And Jimmy Ward didn't practice. And Robert Woods didn't practice.
See, that's where like it's tough doing this on a Thursday morning. You know, because it's like I wish that I could see who is actually going to play and who's not going to play. I'm still going to roll with the Texans in this game. I love C.J. Stroud's composure. I still think that Jordan Love has that throw the game away mentality in him to where he will turn the ball over. I still think this Texans defense is super aggressive. I don't think the Packers have enough weapons to be able to pull away in a game like this. I think that Packers red zone defense, if they do win the game, it's going to be because of that.
Yeah, I'm just going to go on coaching here. I think LaFleur's a better coach, and I think with Nico, maybe I'll pick the Texans, maybe not because of how banged up their defense is. But with Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell, don't get me wrong, two great receivers. But Nico is just a different level right now, and him being out again is just going to be a tough one because that means Jair's going to be he's limited, so he'll probably play from his groin injury. He'll probably be shadowing Stephon the entire game, which will be a good matchup, and Tank's going to be asked to win against the second corner, which if Jair wasn't playing, obviously moved down the depth chart, that might be a different matchup. But I'm going to take the Packers here. I think it's tough to go into Lambeau and get a win. And yeah, I think it should be a good game, but I'm going to take the Packers to win.
What do you think about John Mechie?
I haven't really watched much tape on him. I don't really have an opinion on him yet.
Yeah.
So I need to watch him and see how he does. If he gets, I don't think he got targeted that much.
I really liked him coming out of college, out of Alabama. I really liked him at
He's the
first,
Bama kid,
and then he had the cancer, and then he came back from it, and then he looked really good in the preseason. I think people have kind of forgotten about him a little bit, and I think this is a game where you're going to have a guy like that be able to come in and make some plays for you to help you win a game, because I know that everyone's going to think about the matchup of Diggs and Jair Alexander, because those are kind of the known names. But I think in a game like this where you are kind of down to some backups, you are a little depleted, I still have faith in this Texans team and the way that they play ball, the composure they have on offense, the aggression they have on defense, and the Packers' inconsistency in protecting the ball. I think that they could be able to pull out a game, close game. I don't think they'd blow them out by any means, but I think they could win a close game in Green Bay. But I'm looking at John Mechie to make plays for them this game, and that Packers red zone defense to make or break it for him.
I'll be on the lookout for John Mechie. I remember as soon as you said Bama, I was like, okay, yeah, the Bama kid. But
Yep.
I haven't really watched him play, and that's probably why, because of the freaking cancer and all that stuff.
He missed like a year or two.
Dang.
Yeah, he
What
missed like
story,
a year or
dude.
two.
Holy.
Yeah, so he's coming back this season, and he looked really good in the preseason. He looked really good. He looked like he was back, you know. I thought he was a potential player to get traded because team might kind of like look to get a guy who's still young and has upside. He's not a small receiver. Like, he's a good, like, he could be a good number 2, honestly. So I'm kind of keeping my eyes on him this game to see if he can make some plays and help win against the corners behind Jair Alexander. I don't really trust them for the Packers.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be a good matchup to watch. Let's move on to Bengals and Browns. Weird game. Nick Chubb's back. I don't know if you saw that press conference with all his teammates hyping him up. Really cool moment. He started like borderline tears because after the injury that he suffered last year, like that was pretty gruesome. And like to come back a year later and be able to play football again probably means a lot to him. I know it would to me. That was just a cool press conference. But in terms of how it affects this offense, definitely relieves a lot of pressure off Deshaun's shoulders, number one. But it also, he's got to expect that this Bengals team is going to put 7-8 dudes in the box and dare Deshaun to pass the ball, especially with the departure of Amari Cooper. Jerry Jeudy's going to be their number one guy. I'm not a Jerry Jeudy fan to begin with, especially as a number one receiver on a team. I think if the Bengals have the right game plan coming into this one and their offense can continue to put up points, I think they'll probably win this game comfortably, in my opinion. If the Browns come out and they run the football, they establish Nick Chubb early, might try to make this game a little bit ugly for the Bengals here. But I'm going to pick the Bengals here because of just the firepower on offense. And I think their defense showed that they can kind of step up in big moments last week against the Giants team, which, I mean, they put up 29 points against the Seahawks team in Seattle. And then the Bengals came into New York, and a team who tries to stay on pace on their first down, positive yards, second down, trying to make it third and short. They did a good job of preventing that and making Daniel Jones throw balls up in the air for like a prayer. But
he never got to his second reads. He was staring dudes down and just getting it out.
And look who's playing quarterback this week. I think if Nick Chubb wasn't playing, there's not a doubt in my mind the Bengals will win this game. With Nick Chubb coming back, it moves the needle a little bit more in the Browns' favor. But I'm still going to pick the Bengals to win. What do you think?
When you're looking at this Browns team and you're looking at the season ahead of them, I mean, just with all the negative momentum and just the way this team is looking, you're not seeing – I think both these teams, we're still kind of hanging on to prior knowledge of who they've been over the past couple of years instead of, like, looking at who they are right now. I think the Bengals are very inconsistent. I think their offense is very inefficient. They don't do a lot of things well. There's no team identity. The defense doesn't stop the run. They're not good at really anything. They take the ball away a little bit, but I think that this Browns team, they've been just getting battered throughout the first 6 weeks of the season. I think Deshaun's the most disliked player in the NFL, but Nick Chubb's probably one of the most liked players in the NFL, and I think this team loves him. I think this team is going to fight for a guy like this, and I honestly think that I know people are talking about, it's his first game back from a knee injury. I saw videos of him working out. This dude's ready to go. I don't think this is going to be a game where they feel like they can't give him the ball 15 to 20 times. I think they might, and I think honestly that that's a game changer for them. They've been running the ball with Jerome Ford and Dante Foreman, and they're the only team to not score 20 points in a game this season. I think they get over that 20-point mark, and I think with the inefficiency with the Bengals throughout the season that we've seen so far and kind of looking at them of who they are right now and not who they've been, I think Joe Burrow lost a little bit of his swag when he went to that Ellen DeGeneres haircut, bro. I think he lost his swag.
What?
Yeah, I think Joe Burrow's lost his swag. I know he's had some good numbers, but I don't think that this is a game that you look at and they should be able to pull away. This is going to be a close game, I believe. And the Browns have kind of had their number in some games in the past couple of years where they've actually blown out the Bengals with like backup QBs, So it's like, I don't know. I think that this is a game. I'm actually going to pick the Browns.
Whoa.
I'm going to pick the Browns in this game, and I think this is going to be their first game over 20 points. And I think Nick Chubb, I'm super stoked to see him back. He's been one of my favorite running backs over the past couple of years, and dude's a difference maker. Like, he changes the offense. And the way that Browns offense has been struggling to have any kind of stability up front, I think when you got a guy like Nick Chubb that you're blocking for instead of like maybe they don't really like Deshaun Watson that much, I think they're going to fight for a guy like Nick Chubb and come out and play harder.
I want you to watch this video real quick and tell me that Joe Burrow's lost his swag.
Dude, stop, bro. Get this out of here. The face he made after he ran for 50 yards, bro. That was the dumbest thing ever.
Stop playing.
How many points did he score this game?
Doesn't matter. They won the game.
Did they score 10 points?
17.
17. They really scored 10 points with the garbage time touchdown where
the game was close the entire time.
Chase Brown just ripped off a long run when the game was over. Like he could have slid and then just ran the clock out, but he scored instead. The game was over. I'm calling that game 10-7. I don't like this Bengals offense that much. I know that we have the previous knowledge of who they've been over previous years, but I don't think that this is the same Bengals team that we've seen over previous years. I don't think they're going to bounce back. I think this is like a 7-win team.
38 points against the Ravens.
I know.
34 points against the Panthers. It's the Panthers.
Panthers.
Okay, hey, I acknowledge.
Panthers.
33 points
Bears
against
put
the
up
Commanders.
36 against the Panthers.
Okay. 33 points against the Bengals. Or against the Commanders, sorry.
Commanders defense.
Okay.
And that they were getting blown out for parts of that game.
They made it close to the end.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is there is an identity, and his name is Joe Burrow, and I think that this Bengals offense is they're dangerous. You can't ever count them out because Jamar, like he's done in the past, is going to take a screen pass. What's so funny?
I think that
you don't like my Joe
I'm thinking no, I don't. And I'm thinking about what Joe Burrow said about how if they're going to win games, he has to play perfect. I don't think he's going to play perfect every week. No QB goes through a season and plays perfect every week. Not with this type of team where there's so much pressure on him. I think this is a game where he could have a down game.
All right. I don't hate it. Actually, I do, but let's go Eagles-Giants. Next game up.
Gross. You think Sirianni gets fired mid-season?
Well, he's not going to get fired after this game because the Eagles are going to win.
Either. But do you think he does?
No. I think it's the
division kind of looks bad, too. But what if they lose this game?
He'll probably be yelling at the Giants fans after, or every game he just starts yelling at the fans, just fuck you guys. But yeah, this Eagles team, they're getting healthy. Giants are. I mean, they get Neighbors back.
I was gonna say his Neighbors playing.
Neighbors is playing. Singletary is playing. They have a little They found a little something in Tyron Tracy Jr.
Yep.
But I don't think it's enough. I'm going to take the Eagles in this game because although the Giants did give Joe Burrow and that high-powered Bengal offense problems last week, I think with Saquon is a different back than Chase Brown. And with that O-line and these receivers and these weapons as well, I think Eagles are probably going to – this is probably going to be a Saquon revenge game, probably going for like
I forgot
over
about
100 yards, bro.
I forgot about that.
They're probably going to feed him and kind of stick it to the Giants organization and be like, dude, you guys fucked up big time letting me go because
I think the Eagles will make a point of trying to do that for sure.
Yes, for sure. I think they get enough stops against Daniel Jones. He looked like shit last week. Eagles are probably going to watch that tape, be like, all right, well, it worked. Take away his first read. He panics and throws the ball in the air. That's going to be it. So I'm going to pick the Eagles this week. What do you think?
I agree. I think that you have to take the Eagles. I think that there's a formula for the Giants to win, but I think just like what so much has to go right for them, you know. I do think that there's a bit of a strength on strength kind of matchup in this game with the Eagles O-line and run game versus the Giants front seven. Can they limit the Saquon big play? You know, like that Saquon big play can flip games, and we've seen it do that for the Eagles throughout the season. In a couple of games where they could have lost or been like completely blown out. The Saints game, the Bucks game. I think there was another game in there as well where Saquon completely just flipped the game. Maybe against the Packers it was. There's just been some games where it's like Saquon's flipped it with his big play that he provides for that offense. If you can limit that and make the Eagles try to win passing the ball, they've shown that they struggle doing that. So with Malik Neighbors being back, there is a formula for the Giants to win this game. I just think so much has to go right for them to be able to do that. I don't really think that's going to happen. I think this is a game where Devontae Smith, because there's so much attention on Saquon, there's so much attention on stopping A.J. Brown because you have to double him. I think this is a game where Devontae Smith could kind of take advantage of that single coverage and kind of forgotten. You can't forget about a guy like Devontae Smith, and he could be forgotten about this game with the revenge game of Saquon and the A.J. Brown. You have to stop him. Jalen Hurts running the ball with off options and extending plays. I think this is a game where you could forget about Devontae Smith, and he can make some plays. I'm taking Eagles, too. You can't take the Giants, but, I mean, there's a formula for them to win, though.
Yeah.
Everything has to go right for them.
Yeah, they have to stay on track the entire game on offense, and that is so tough to do in the
Every
NFL,
game.
you know?
Such a thin margin for error. I think it's tough to win games like that.
Perfect way to put it. Thin margin for error is the best way to put that because you fuck up once, you don't have the firepower to bring back.
Nope.
Actually, you do have some firepower. You don't have the quarterback, and that's the issue.
It's gonna take like a Superman game from Malik Neighbors to be able to overcome some of the mistakes the Giants will make throughout the game.
Yeah. Seahawks Falcons next game up.
What do you think?
Tough. This is a 34-31 barn burner in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks offense has been
over is what I had circled.
Yeah, I'm with you. Seahawks have been struggling late with their offense. Look for Kenneth Murray in this game.
Kenneth Walker.
I don't know why I say Kenneth Murray.
That linebacker. He's not the same type of player for sure.
Kenneth Walker. I don't know how I could forget one of my best running backs on my fantasy team's names, but Kenneth Walker's going to have a huge game. I'm telling you right now.
I'm hoping not because you're playing me in fantasy this week, but I think so as well.
Yeah, he's going to have a big game. I think this might be a DK, 70-yard touchdown type of game.
Does it every once in a week, once in a while.
Yeah, I want to pick the Seahawks here.
Yeah.
I want to. Let me check the injury report real quick before I make anything else. I want to hear what you think about it.
Yeah, I think that this is a game where the Seahawks have to win the turnover margin. You cannot go negative like they've been doing against some of the better teams or hotter teams right now. I think that the Falcons are going to come out and do what they talked about doing and run the ball. And I think the Seahawks need to have Tariq Woolen back this week. So go ahead and check to see if Tariq Woolen's playing.
He didn't practice.
Didn't practice again. Yeah. So I think in a game like this, you really need Tariq Woolen. And if they lose the turnover margin, you will lose the game. And I think against safeties like the Falcons do have, you're in jeopardy of turning the ball over in a lot of these plays where you're dropped back with Geno. So, I mean, I really want to pick the Seahawks as well. think the Falcons have kind of like squeaked out some games here and there. Their record isn't as indicative of how good of a team they are. I'm just gonna go with my initial instinct of taking the Seahawks in this game. I want to pick the Falcons, but I think that I think Geno has a clean game. He's just hasn't had a clean game in a couple weeks, and I think that he should this week.
I'm with you. I think he does. I just think the Falcons also do. I think Kirk and that offense have been firing. They've been slowly, progressively getting better each and every week.
Yeah.
They're finding kind of what's working for the run game too. I know you talked about Algier.
Yeah.
Off podcast, just shooting the shit at work. But
Algier's taking over that backfield.
Algier's the true runner, and they
He is.
use Bijan on the outside, like outside zones, get him out of the backfield, catching passes, stuff like that. And hey, if Reek's out, that's a huge loss because Drake London has proven that he can handle a fair share of targets.
Yep.
I also think Kyle Pitts might get one this game, a touchdown. I think he's been kind of limited the past. He had a big game against the Bucs.
You're hoping he does.
I'm praying this week. I need you're the highest scorer in our league, even though I'm 5-1. So
You said I am?
you are, yeah.
Yeah, boy.
So yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
So you're taking Seahawks. I'm gonna take the Falcons because
Valid.
at home, I think it will be a close game, but I think the Falcons, if Reek Woolen is out, and there are other guys for the Seahawks that are a little banged up, Byron Murphy's one of them. Trey Brown
Is he limited?
limited.
Okay.
Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams are both limited. Reek and Trey Brown, their two corners didn't practice. So
Yeah, I think you have to have a clean game from Geno this game. I think that's essential. I think the Falcons, they're not known for taking the ball away this year. Those safeties are dangerous if you're throwing the ball down the field. So, I mean, we'll see. I think that I'm just going to go with my gut instinct of the Seahawks being able to run the ball a bit this game better than they've done in previous weeks. I think that they're kind of due to get bounced back and get a win. They're not a bad team. I think that their interior, the D-line, has really hurt them not being healthy. Hopefully you have Byron Murphy out there and Leonard Williams. But I think either way that neither of these teams is – I think they're both around that 9-8 record come the end of the season. 8-9, 9-8. I think they're both around that same kind of range come end of the season. But I don't know. The Falcons have kind of stolen some games over the season so far, and I think that this could be a game that they just don't close out.
I think Falcons, Younghoe Koo, game-winning field goal.
Koo.
That's how I think this game ends. Like 34-31.
He's done it a couple times this season.
He's clutch, bro. I'm telling
He
you.
is.
Dolphins, Colts, next game up.
What was I gonna say about? I was gonna say something about this Falcons game. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say about Bijan Robinson. I don't think he's an outside zone runner. I mean, when I watched him at Texas, I think he was better on the interior runs, where he can kind of use his footwork. He has very clean footwork, and he's very smooth in terms of taking one cut and accelerating. I think that that's kind of his game, and I think that all these outside zones is more of Algier's game. So I do think that we'll see if they figure that out through the season. But, I mean, I think they look at Bijan and they say, oh, he should be able to get the edge. I don't think he has the speed and the burst to be able to get to the edge like that. I think that his game is really you split him out wide and use him as a receiver. You let him pick and read through the middle of the interior of the offensive line. I think that he's not an outside runner, and they keep using him in that. And I think that's kind of why you're not seeing as much efficiency in his game. I don't think he's an outside zone runner. But
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah, I think Algier is an outside zone runner. I don't think what's his name, Bijan is. I think at Texas we kind of saw he's very clean in reading the middle of the field and following his blockers, and he's very instinctual in that.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see as the season goes on.
Yeah, Dolphins, Colts. What do you think?
Gross.
Yeah,
That's
gross
what
game.
I think, bro. I mean,
Gross
it's
game.
just Anthony Richardson. I think I saw was going to be back this week, and it's like I don't know if you really want that as a Colts fan. I think Flacco's played better. Can Anthony Richardson have a clean game? You hope so. Has he shown that he can? No. So it's like both these defenses are soft. Both these offenses are inconsistent. Neither QB makes a difference in the game in terms of you feel good about them coming out with a dub. So it's like, I mean, you got to go Colts in this matchup. just based off of they've shown more. But I think the Dolphins are kind of one of these teams that's I think they run the ball well. I think they have explosive players on offense. I think that with the QB like Anthony Richardson, you can see some turnovers from him. You know, he does overthrow. He does miss wide open guys when he needs to convert on third downs. And it's just, he'd probably be better off starting. If you start Flacco this game, I'm Colts all day. But, I mean, when you're starting a guy like Anthony Richardson, you hope that he can use his legs, but does he even play a full game? So, I mean, it's just like, I'm going to take the Colts in this game just because the Dolphins' defense is so bad. But this could be a surprisingly, like, weird, ugly field goal 2-point game that, like, it shouldn't be.
I could see that. A-Chain's coming back from his concussion.
Yeah.
So they have, like, Dolphins have all the weapons, right? It's not really a question of that. It's really just can they utilize them? And I don't think they do. I think Colts at home, I just think it's, like you said, you can't pick the Dolphins in this game because of the quarterback situation.
Nope.
But I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins make this closer than it really should be. But, yeah, I'm taking the Colts too. Really nothing else from this game that I really want to talk about. But
Finns are going to try to run the ball, keep it low scoring, and hopefully let Anthony Richardson lose the game. But it's disappointing that Anthony Richardson is so inconsistent.
yeah, Panthers, Commanders. Next game up.
I wonder what the over/under is in this game.
I'm on it.
Because, I mean, both these offenses have shown an ability to score, move the ball. I think this is a game where Xavier Legette could have a game. I'm not going to go crazy and take the Panthers. I'm going to take the Commanders just because the Panthers' defense is the worst in the league. They can't stop anybody. Jaden's going to do whatever he wants to him all game. So it's like 51. Yeah.
And a half.
Exactly. 51.5 points. That's a pretty sound over and under for this game. I think that over should be good in this game. I'm going to take the Commanders. Do I feel great? No. Has Jaden not had a bad game yet? Yeah. I think he's a week away from that. I've kind of talked about it. I think the Bears game that he plays when they sees him next week, that'll be his first, like, not good-looking game. You should be able to do whatever you want to against this Panthers defense, and I'm expecting that. So take the Commanders, but I'm looking at Xavier Legette to be able to make some plays against these DBs, especially because they struggle against size and physicality at receiver and speed. Like size, physically imposing receivers, they struggle against. So I'm looking at a guy like Xavier Legette to have a touchdown, maybe over 100 yards in this game.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Little breakout game from
Yeah, I
think
Legette's due for a game, especially because he's such a physically dominant, athletic profile that I think that he could have a game.
Especially because the Panthers are probably going to be down too.
Yes.
So they're probably going to be passing the ball a lot.
Yep.
I want to see a Brian Robinson Jr. back. I'm taking the Commanders no matter what, even if Brian Robinson Jr. is out.
Commanders no matter what. That's a good way to go.
So let me see here real quick. But yeah, I'm with you. I just think that the Commanders, I was never expecting to be this good. I was not expecting Jade Daniels to look this poised and calm as a rookie.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a rookie.
Yeah, he doesn't. Let's see here. Yeah.
I think the Panthers are going to come out and try to run the ball a little bit. I think they're going to try to get going with Chuba Hubbard. I think there's a availability to do this. That's why both teams are going to score this game. I think it's just about the Commanders have an off day on offense to turn the ball over. You know, I think it's the only way they could lose this game. But both offenses, like the over, looks really good in this game.
Yeah. Brian Robinson is limited on Wednesday, so he'll probably play.
What's his injury again?
It's like
knee or
it's
something.
a knee, yeah.
Yeah. Eckler's look good either way though, so I think between Eckler and Jaden's legs, like they'll run for 130 at least.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Commanders all the way. Raiders, Rams, next game up.
Going Raiders. Just kidding.
Oh my God, make funny
I'm
again.
fucking with you. Nah, I'm going Rams. I mean, this is just a game where it's like the Raiders have been in a spiral ever since the buzz saw that it was the first Andy Dalton start came into Las Vegas and tore him up. So, Ever since that game, negative momentum. Devontae traded. Defense getting banged up with Max Crosby. Now Max Crosby is in trade talks. Does he get traded? Probably not. Is he in talks? Yeah, because the season's going bad. So Raiders turnover margin has been a thing with them all season, and they haven't been protecting the ball. Probably won't again. Gonna go with the Rams. So it's just like, yeah, I think Cooper Kupp was talked about being potentially back this game.
I'll check that real quick.
I think I saw like some things talking about how he might be back this game. So Cooper Kupp is back, especially. I'm going Rams. I don't know about you, bro.
So you can include we because we're both going Rams.
We're going Rams. So it's just yeah, it's just like the amount of things that have to go right in a game like this for the Raiders to even be in it is just, it's not ideal.
Yeah, this might be another lock of the week. I'm not kidding. I think the Rams have this game locked up in the bag.
Yeah, this is probably a lock.
Yeah, Cooper's limited on Wednesday. He battling that, what was it, an ankle?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think if he plays or not, to be honest, I think they're going to do enough with Kyren Williams on the ground to kind of just batter this Raiders team. It's tough when you have this much controversy surrounding a team to go out and just put that aside and go to bat for each other, because if you're on good terms, it's tough to win in the NFL, much less everyone hating each other and your head coach is liking pictures of
hating each other.
Everyone, like the Antonio Pierce liking the comment of Devontae getting traded and really sparked the trade to the Jets. That's just Aiden O'Connell as your freaking quarterback. It's just like, dude, brutal to be a Raiders fan right now. I don't even know.
I think the Raiders just completely lost the locker room as soon as they got blown out by the Panthers.
Yeah.
I think you just see the Panthers and the way they were playing, and then to come in and go 34-7, they're up 34-7 on you at home. It's like, dude, you lose everybody, like, because everybody sees the writing on the wall for the season after you beat the Ravens, and then just that to come in and slap you in the face. It's like, no.
Yeah.
You lose a locker room over a game like that, and I think that's what's happened.
Couldn't agree more. This next game, I'm done talking about that game. Are you?
Yeah, I'm done talking about the Rams and Raiders. I just think that there's so much that would need to go right for the Raiders to even be in it. It's like I don't really expect that to happen.
Chiefs, Niners. Little Super Bowl rematch.
Chiefs off a bye week, too.
Yep. What do you think?
It's kind of interesting because it's like, the Niners have lost some games they should win. Chiefs have won some games they should have lost. Andy Reid's history of coming off bye weeks is ridiculous. He has a crazy win percentage coming off bye weeks. He almost never loses with the Eagles, with the Chiefs. It's just a known thing by him. Niners are also coming off of a mini bye, playing on last Thursday. So, I mean, you're looking at the 13-1. Yeah. Andy Reid is 13-1 coming off bye weeks or is he 8-3 with the Chiefs? 8-3 with the Chiefs and 13-1 with the Eagles coming off bye weeks. So, all time that's 21-4 coming off bye weeks for Andy Reid. So significant. That's a significant thing to consider in this game. It's just they've been walking on this thin margin of error for winning games, and against a team that's going to be able to put the ball in the end zone a little bit. I need to know what Jordan Mason's looking like. Can you look up that injury report for him and see how he's doing? Because I don't think Isaac Guerrero
limited on Wednesday.
Limited. Okay. So most likely guy who's in his fourth year of his rookie contract. I think he's going to try to come back out here and play again.
100%.
He needs to be healthy. He needs to be able to run the ball the same way he's been able to run the ball.
The man risen. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Ricky Pearsall, back from death.
Ricky Pearsall's back?
Full practice.
That's a difference maker. They've been waiting for this guy who they picked in the first round, and he's crazy athlete, ball skills.
For the record, I was not comparing Ricky to Jesus Christ. I just want to put that out there. Ricky Pearsall obviously got shot in the beginning of the season.
It's at San Fran, too. This is going to be a dope game.
This is a sick game, and I think they're going to be a little 21-5 action after this one for Andy Reid's little bye week.
That's a crazy win percentage though coming off a bye week.
Insane, dude.
Crazy win
21-4. It's gonna be 21-5 though. I don't care about that damn win percentage. This is one of those things where I think the Niners have such a bad taste in their mouth. I know as soon as they lost,
is Nick Bosa playing?
I don't think he shouldn't. I don't,
Someone told me something about him potentially being hurt and missing a game or two.
no.
But I agree with you. The bad taste in their mouth left after the Super Bowl. I mean, we saw the Eagles beat the Niners in the championship game, and then the Niners come back and just dunk on them in Philadelphia last year, and now Niners losing kind of a funky Super Bowl.
Rigged
Super Bowl. Yeah. So they get them at home. I agree with you.
Yeah, this you're taking the Niners too?
I'm picking the Niners
too. Dude, let's go. All right.
Yeah.
I thought for sure you're going to go back on the Chiefs bandwagon.
Nah.
After what has happened
It's not
in the
prime
past.
time. This
True.
is a 1 p.m. game, bro.
Exactly.
It's not prime time.
And everyone's got to lose.
They ain't gonna go. They are
lose.
not going 17-0.
Yeah, exactly. And
Clip that though for the end of the season. Right?
imagine that'd
They
be
are not going 17-0.
a crazy sound bit at
I
the
mean,
end.
I already got the fucking clips of me saying that they're not gonna three-peat, and here we are, 6-0, 5-0, 6-0 Chiefs, 5-0,
5-0.
5-0 Chiefs. Yeah.
Gonna be 5-1.
I
I'm telling
agree.
you,
I
after
think
this
so.
week, I'm gonna hear Scott Hansen's voice as the recap for Red Zone. There are no undefeated teams left in the NFL. I can just hear that already in my ears already. I am confident that this Niners team, especially after losing a game to the Cardinals, where they let them back into it at home, they go
Man.
to Seattle, whoop up on them at Thursday Night Football, had a little mini bye, right? Little mini bye here. And I know it's not an entire bye week, but definitely more preparation. And I think they're going to learn from their mistakes. And give me the Niners in this one too, man. I'm pumped about this game.
Me
I'm
too.
going to be the ultimate. I'm already a Chiefs hater. This game, my family, before Cardinals moved here from St. Louis, they were Niner fans too. So my dad and my mom are going to go wild the entire game too. So,
That's awesome.
anyways,
Yeah.
and about anything else you want to talk about this game right now?
I think the Niners need to be able to run the ball. I don't like Isaac Guerrero being able to run the ball against this Chiefs defense. You need a tough runner. You need Jordan Mason to be able to be out there.
Grando looked fine last game.
I know. He had 30 yards rushing until that last play where he ripped it off and slid down early. He had one big run at the end against Seahawks defense. Has been struggling with some of the trench play being not as well because they had injuries. So I think that when you're looking at a game like this, you need Jordan Mason out there. You need him to be running hard. I think this team is going to have a bad taste in their mouth, like you said. I'm really excited to see Ricky Pearsall out there with them. I think that the Chiefs are going to make it close and try to play their whole winning within the margins. But I think the margin for error is thin for them. So I think that if this team is fully healthy and you have Rashee Rice out there, you have Hollywood Brown, different game. But with the injuries, I'm going to take the Niners too.
All right. We're in agreement. Jets, Steelers. Newly acquired Devontae Adams.
I missed that game. I don't know how I missed that. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, I mean, basically, remember what I said last week? I'm off the Jets bandwagon. I'm back on for one more week. I'm back on for one more week. They bought me 1 week of their time.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is probably a future Hall of Famer, right? I mean,
How many targets do you think he has in this game?
12 minimum.
I agree.
12.
Aaron Rodgers is going to feed him. He was already hanging out with Rodgers like at his own house and shit. He's going to feed him.
You saw that too with Pat
Yeah,
McAfee. That
I
was
did.
so funny.
was
Let me
pretty
look at
funny.
the weather real quick. Sunday at
It's in New York?
no. It's
in Pittsburgh?
Pitt. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna be 69 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, it's going to be an ugly game either way, though, I think. I think it's going to be a grinded out type of game. You know Tomlin's not going to let his guys get blown out in this game. I do think, though, I don't like Russell Wilson starting in this game.
I think
I think that's a mistake.
they're gonna be caught in between here. I think you're 100% right. They should just stick with what the offense is comfortable and used to. Maybe
Why are you changing it up on a week like this after you start 4-2?
yeah, and why not wait until a bye week where you can get everyone on the same page for an extra week? I don't know when their bye week is, but just wait till then. I mean, Fields has not played amazing, but
Russell Wilson didn't look good in the preseason, though, either.
So I'm taking the Jets because I think if they fucking lose this game, I don't even know what to say about the Jets anymore. Like, what do you
Is
say?
Cordero Patterson playing?
I don't know, but I don't know.
You want to check the Steelers injury report real quick for me?
Why?
Patterson's missed the last 2 games. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I do think that man, I just don't think the Steelers DBs will be able to. What are we looking at? Let me look at this injury report. DNP. Yeah, it looks like he's not playing again. So, I mean, I just think the Steelers are pretty banged up coming into a game like this. And also, too, I want to note something about this game, though. Tyron Smith did not have a good game last week. I think his right knee's injured. I don't know what. If you want to pull up the injury report for the Jets really quick, see if Tyron Smith is listed on there with an injury. Tyron Smith, non-injury, vet rest, limited practice. He's injured. That's bullshit. He's injured. I literally watched him this last game against the Bills. There's some kind of brace on his right knee. There was a play where he couldn't get into his pass protection. He's not driving off that right knee to get back, and he got whipped around the edge. And then there was that other play where he went to go out on a screen, and he couldn't bend and get low to get a block on this DB of the Bills. And then the Bills DB blows it up, and it's a loss of yardage. There's some kind of injury that he's playing through right now that I don't like the way this Jets O-line is playing. I think that he's playing through an injury and respect, but the Steelers' edge rush has been sick this season. With TJ Watt, this is a game that TJ Watt's going to have his hands all over. So I think this is going to be a close and ugly game. I just don't like Russell Wilson coming in a game like this. I think you should have rolled with Justin for another week or two. At least let Justin lose the job instead of just throw Russ in when he's healthy. I think that's kind of lame, and I think that's going to cost him a game like this.
I like that take.
I'm going to go with the Jets, too.
I like that take of letting him lose it because
you got to let him lose the job.
Because then it takes all the pressure off you as a coach and as a staff. And they're like, hey, look what he did last week. Does he really deserve to play and win this? I mean, they won last week. So how are you going to tell
out the Raiders?
Yeah, how do you tell
it's
me?
Not like a squeak by lucky win.
Yeah.
They blew him out.
So I'm with you.
I thought Justin was starting to get his confidence back with him, too, with his legs and the way he was taking off. I thought he started to get some confidence back, and it's just, I don't know. I think that's going to cost him a game like this.
Ravens-Bucks, Monday Night Football. One of the 2 Monday night games.
Dude, I'm stoked for this game. So that was the Sunday night game then. The
Jets Steelers is Sunday night.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, this game with the Bucks Ravens, I'm stoked. I think this is a huge game for Baker. Man, it's tough. It's tough though to pick a winner in this game. I really want to go with the Bucks. The Ravens have all the momentum. Bucks have to be able to stop the run. I don't know what their injury report looks like coming into this game.
I'll pull it up real quick.
Yeah, I don't know what the injury report looks like coming into this game. I think that they also put out the first injury report because it's a Monday night game today. So it's we're not going to know fully. Bucks have been getting healthy though. The way they've been running the football, that's a difference maker for that offense because when you're able to run the ball with the complements at receiver, yeah, there's no major injuries. Yeah.
Everyone's questionable, but it's all the vets with rest.
Yeah. This Bucks team's getting healthy at the right time. I think they need to be healthy in a game like this. I'm stoked for them to get an opportunity at home to beat one of the better teams in the league. So, I think I'm going to go with Bucks in this game, go with the home team. I'm going to go with the positive momentum and seeing the Bucks' ability to run the ball. When I was thinking about this game, I was just envisioning I think this Ravens team, they're gonna be punching at that ball with these smaller backs, and smaller backs. I know they haven't shown any issues with it, but I think when you're smaller like that, you're trying to hold the ball, and you got guys like Roquan Smith, these big edge rushers, these big DBs punching at the football. They need to be able to protect the ball in a game like this, but I do think that the Bucks, with all the weapons they have, Sterling Shepard is stepping up and looking good. Not just he's on the field, but he's looked good. They're getting him end arounds. I'm pretty stoked for the opportunity for Baker and the Bucks to get a statement win on their season.
I think the Ravens, on the flip side, get a statement win here. I think there's a ton of talk around the Bucs right now, like you're talking about. And obviously, with Derrick Henry in this Ravens offense, what they've done rushing the football, I think they continue to do that. I think they make this game ugly all the time. Derrick Henry, I wouldn't be surprised if he has like 30 carries, bro. I'm not kidding.
They said they weren't going to do that, though.
Dude, they better, because that's the only way they're going to win this game.
Yep, I agree.
I think the Ravens
It's a
have
tough game.
It's a tough game to predict because the Bucs are playing good. But sometimes when you put up 51, right? Or how they put up what? 51, right?
51 last week.
51 last week.
That run game was crazy.
To go off your point of fumbling, Bucky Irving has had some costly fumbles. If there's something that I'd bet on that's not just like stupid, it would be Bucky Irving fumble, because I think the Ravens, like you said, are going to punch this ball out.
I have that and I can literally see it happening. You know, like I have a feeling that's going to happen this game.
So, I think the Ravens get it done. I think it's going to be like a 27-24
for sure
close game, but it's going to be like a payoff, like a Derrick Henry like fourth quarter drive. Say Bucs are up like 4. Bucs are up 4 going into the fourth quarter. Lamar's going to lead him down the field. Derrick Henry's going to have that punch and touchdown where it's like a payoff and that defense is gassed, right?
Yep.
And I think maybe like a Kyle Hamilton pick, a Marlon Humphrey pick to seal it. I think last week we had some guys on the Saints start to kind of not QB spy with Baker, but have a guy that rushes and kind of just looks for Baker to take off, because Baker does like to just
mobility.
He does, and he's keeping it a lot more than from what I remember in the past. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think you're going to see Baker rushing for a bunch of yards, running for a bunch of third down conversions. I think this Ravens team sees that, and they're just like, dude, they're licking their chops. Like, if Baker runs, you're going to crack him, because he's not going to go down really with a slide, usually, especially if he's trying to get a first down. I would be looking to like Roquan Smith. Those guys are going to look to just crack him.
Ravens' record is 4-2.
Yeah, after going 0-2. So they're on a 4-game win streak right now. So I'm taking Ravens in this game. I think they're going to establish a run. This defense, with that run game, time possession, I think is going to be a big thing for the Ravens to keep the Bucs team off the field, give that team as much rest on defense as possible. I think that's how they're going to win the game.
Is there any weather implications on this game?
Look that up real quick.
Because I do want to pick the Ravens, but I'm going to stick with my gut and just go Bucs.
It's 86 degrees.
Yeah. So no weather implications, no rain or anything like that. Because I know there's been hurricanes and stuff like
5%
that.
5% precipitation chance.
Yeah. So I just know there's been hurricanes and stuff like that. It's Tampa, so I was just considering that. But I just think that there's also the thing with the Ravens and the way that they try to screen, attack the middle of the field. I'm looking at Antoine Winfield in a game like this to be able to make a play that can help change or win this game. They do have guys in the secondary, and I do think that Todd Bowles had a couple of games where it's uncharacteristic of his defense. So I just think that I'm going to go with the Bucs off a gut feeling and them being at home this game. But I do think the Ravens, though, this could go either way. It's 50-50 for me.
All right. I think it is too. It's a tough game to predict.
Very.
Two good teams. So
Very.
Next game up, last game, Chargers-Cardinals. Oh, man. I know you're going to let me talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know what other game they're going to win if they can't win this game. I understand. I get Harbaugh has these boys dialed in on the Chargers. I get it. They're extremely well coached. Honestly, I would hope Marvin goes for 40 points on me in fantasy if that means the Cardinals win this game.
Is he playing?
He's limited with a concussion. So
he's limited.
He's gonna have to get it cleared by a separate neurologist before the game. So that's something to watch. That's why it's tough doing a Monday night preview on a Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, with it being on a Monday, it kind of helps him out though.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is at practice but remains in concussion protocol. That's actually a good sign, right? Oh man, Darius Robinson's mom just passed away. but he would be at practice otherwise. So I think he'll probably play. So we might get our first look at Darius Robinson, which is a huge deal for that run defense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the Cardinals at home Monday night. The Cardinals do play good in primetime in my recent memory, I believe. And I think, honestly, Kyler he's heard all the critics. He was frustrated. He might take this game into his own hands with his rushing, and even if it's not schemed up for him, he might just take off and kind of just be a playmaker like that. It hurts me because I do want to pick the Chargers out of just my common sense and just what I think is actually going to happen. But I'm letting my my fandom get the best of me again. I'm picking the Cardinals. So, what do you think?
I want to pick the Cardinals too. I want to, but I'm just kind of sitting here and thinking about it. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I just think that offensive line is such a strong identity of the Chargers, and I think that they have so much talent up there that it's I think they might be able to do whatever they want against this Cardinals defense. And I think in my mind, when I was first thinking about this game, I was thinking about it being close, and if they can keep the Chargers to 20 or less, then the Cardinals are going to have a chance to steal it. But I'm just looking at this Chargers offensive line, and I'm just envisioning them going against this Cardinals lighter front, and I can't see any way that they stop the run and just get this Chargers offense off the field. And I think that that's just going to be the difference in this game is they're not going to be able to get the Chargers offense off the field. And after seeing them play the Packers and the way that the time of possession was just dominated all game, I'm just I can't pick the Cardinals right now with the way that defense is playing.
Yeah, dude. I'm sitting here and I want to change my pick to the Chargers just because I think that's what's right. I think I actually am going to do it.
Yeah.
Give me a
I was
second.
just thinking about that front, dude. That Cardinals lighter front against this Chargers offensive line, and I was just I can't pick against that. I think that the Cardinals are so inconsistent on offense in terms of putting together scoring drives. I think James Conner, is he banged up or is he gonna play?
He's gonna play, but he just got a lot of mileage on those legs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
I think it'll be fun. I hope that Trey Benson can step up, man. I hope that Trey Benson can step up and have a game. I think that'll be a difference maker for them if they can have a game. I've talked about him being somebody who needs to be able to get the ball and be efficient with his touches if they're going to be a good team. But I'm banking on that Chargers offense being on the field and being able to dominate time of possession. I think with coaches like they do have, I think they're going to know they want to do the exact same thing this game.
I'm picking the Chargers.
Yeah,
just
I'm
because
going
common
Chargers.
sense. Just common sense.
I'm
It
going to
hurts
go
me.
Chargers.
It hurts me because I think with our pieces that we have that are hurt right now, this game actually is pretty close.
Yeah.
I think we do win. With Marvin fully healthy, our O-line healthy.
Defensive line
has
has to
healthy.
be healthy, and they're not. And, dude, that's such a mismatch this game.
Yeah, B.J. Ojulari being out, Darius Robinson coming off a calf injury, which he's not going to be 100% even if he does play. Kaiser White's banged up. Sean Murphy-Bunning's dealing with a neck spasm.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I'm telling you that right now. We just put Bilal Nichols on IR. Justin Jones is on IR.
Bro.
We are
Damn,
banged
you're losing
up.
all the former Bears, bro.
Yeah, dude. We need the former Bears, I guess, but
Kyrus Tonga, step up, bro.
dude, we're gonna
Former
have
Ryan Pace, 7th round pick, bro. He came from BYU and he was 25 when they drafted him, so he's got to be 30 right now.
yeah, this is just making me more depressed. But you're taking a 36-40 record, and I'm taking a 47-29 record into this week. Our upset of the week. We haven't gone over that. Who do you think is gonna upset this week?
Browns.
Really?
Yeah, my upset's the Browns. My lock is the Broncos.
Upset is the Browns. Lock is okay.
Going with my bros. Browns and
Browns.
Broncos.
Bros.
Browns. That's what I'm rolling with. Feel good about that Browns game. I think they're gonna pull up off the upset. Lock of the week is the Chargers. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna pick Lions as my upset of the week,
That's legit.
and I'm gonna pick the Bills as my lock of the week.
Valid.
Bills lock of the week, Lions upset of the week. that's it. That's all. I think that's pretty much all we got for you guys.
Yo,
I'm going to try to keep my 10-plus win streak alive. This is a tough week.
I'm gonna give you 11 last week. I talked you into the Cardinals versus the Packers. You had the Packers. I had the Packers. I went through it and I picked Cardinals, and then I talked you into it. You're a fan, bro. I did that to you. That was my fault. You have 3 11 win weeks in a row.
Nah.
Bro you have 3 11 win weeks in a row basically. If I didn't talk you into the Cardinals last week and hype you up, bro, you wouldn't have done that.
I'll take it. I think, this week is a tough week for matchups, I think. There are only really 2 games where I think the Bills game and I think the Rams game are the 2 games where I'm for sure confident in those guys.
Yeah.
The rest of
good
them,
about the Broncos?
I just think with this type of game in New Orleans, Bo Nix is still a rookie, and I don't know. I just
it was a veteran secondary. I mean, I like him too.
It's not. I'm picking. I think the Broncos are going to win, but I don't know if it's necessarily a lock. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of like the Patriots-Jaguars game where I think the Patriots are going to win. I think on paper and what I've seen from Drake May the last week, I think they're probably going to win, but we'll see. Saints are a little bit more proven, like you talked about, with that veteran secondary. So
that's real.
Next podcast, you guys will see, will be in the new setup with the new cam. It'll probably be a college football podcast, a little solo pod by me, and then our little preview for Week 7 of the NFL season next week. Pumped for it.
We're doing review on cam.
Oh
review on cam and then preview. So both pods next week will be on cam.
Oh, yeah. Every pod from here on out will be on cam, brother.
Let's go.
So I'm pumped for it. Stay tuned for that, guys. As always, appreciate you guys listening. Randy, as always, thanks for helping out.
Yes, sir. Thursday night pick gotta come through, bro.
Yeah.
Gotta come through. Broncos, please.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Gotta
Smash the like button, though.
Hey, Randy, tell them what to do.
Smash the like button. Hit subscribe. Hit that bell icon. It's free. Make sure you know when we post every time. So, yeah.
All that jazz. Go
Smash the like button.
Go follow the Instagram and TikTok at Let's Talk Ball _podcast. Trying to post TikToks 1-2 times a day. Just go like it. I don't even care if you agree with what I'm saying. Just go like it. Try to grow the pod a bit. And yeah, we're trying to get I'm trying to get to 10K likes by the end of probably the end of the month. Really. I'm at 7.1 right now. So
Let's go.
Not too shabby. But yeah, as always, guys, appreciate you guys listening. We'll be back with a review next week, and peace.
Bye.